Guess what? I'm doing my hair today and I'm taking you all along with me. Today I will be washing my hair and interlocking my hair. Will I finish it all today? Probably not. But we will go along the whole process and keep it as simple and keep it as relatively simple as possible because simplicity is relative. So I'm going to actually go through every single thing that I will be using today to do my locks. So first and foremost, what shampoo will I use? Honestly, I am in a foreign country. Whatever the grocery store has that is aligned with what I want to put into my hair at this moment in time. Right now, today, I am using Bioland Ortega shampoo. Bring that close to you to see. It is without salt, without parabens, without SLS, without sulfates. And it was recommended by my partner who used to use this when he had locks, and he's from this country. So that's the shampoo I'll be using. I have a microfiber, come on, focus, microfiber towel, hair towel that I'll be using to dry my hair. That's it for washing. Those two items to wash my hair. Now to retighten my hair, I will be using avocado oil. Again, this is what is available to me at this very moment. I'm going to use avocado oil instead of coconut oil this time. I haven't been able to find jojoba oil here, so that may be the next oil I get back into using because I used avocado oil before. And yeah, just going to see what happens with my hair since I have been using coconut oil for the majority of the last retightening sessions. Now in the oil, I put rosemary by doTERRA. Probably the best brand that I have found for essential oils. So I will put that in oil. So I have in this a mixture of the avocado oil and the rosemary oil. And then in a spray bottle to keep my hair moisturized, well, to keep my hair wet. After washing it, I have just it was an empty spray bottle, my old perfume, empty spray bottle. I put water in here. I put a few drops of avocado oil, and I put a few drops of rosemary oil also in this bottle. So just a regular spray bottle with water, avocado oil, and rosemary essential oils. And then I have some other tools, a rat tail comb to get to the parts. Don't really use this as much. It's the rat tail comb I'll be using. And I have a mirror to be able to see what I'm doing at times, even though I'm using my camera. And I have hair clips to keep the hair out of the way. So various sizes of hair clips that I'll be using. And the most important part of this entire production, the most important part is the hair tool, what I will actually be using to interlock my hair. Bam. This right here has been with me since the start of my locks. I've had this the whole time, and this is what I use to manage my hair. And that's it. Simple, relatively simple tools of what I will be using today. So I have not retightened my hair for I'll insert the date because I actually don't remember. I believe it's been over a month, maybe even less than that, but I'll check and I'll put the date in the description box below. So make sure you read that when you get a chance. And so right now, this is the status of my hair. My hair is layered like this. I have not cut the locks in this shape. It's just how I started my hair. When I started my hair was already layered from a previous big chop and a cut that grew into a layered cut. So my locks have grown into that. Now some locks are longer than others, and then some of them have broken and had to be reattached and all of that. I also have not colored my hair since it's been locked. So that's also important to mention. What else? Leave some questions, comments down below if you'd like for me to make more of these videos about me doing my locks, about what you'd actually like to know. But I think someone in my previous video mentioned that I could stay longer in between reties. Yes and no. Edges of my hair, I found that it's important for me to make sure I maintain them, or since they are thin, or they will start to weaken. So making sure I keep them maintained, and if I need to combine locks, I am aware of it. So I'm paying attention to my locks because of the frequency, how often I am taking care of my locks. My hair has a lot going on in terms of sand. I swim in the ocean, so I have a lot of sand in my hair. And there has been some lint. So when I wash it, I'm going to spend time really massaging and getting into each one. I may do a apple cider vinegar rinse the next time I do my locks, and usually when I do that, that gets to detoxify my locks, but it also can be very drying. So right now, I have the energy for washing and retying, and to just have a conversation with you about this channel, about intentionality, about mindfulness, and the direction this channel is evolving into. So I think that's all for the setup of what we're going to be doing today. And all right, so I'm going to go into the bathroom and start washing my hair. Here we are in the shower and about to wash the hair. So closer look to my hair. And we're back. I have freshly washed my hair, and now it is drying a little bit with this microfiber towel. Oh, it smells amazing. So we'll take a look at how clean it is. I did my best. It took me about 30 minutes to do the full wash and rinse. So let's take a closer look, shall we? Now it just smells clean, feels lighter. It's like there's this energetic shift when you wash your hair. Obviously, you're removing any dirt, buildup, sand in my case, but also it's as if you're washing the energy out of your hair. And when you incorporate soaks like apple cider vinegar soaks or detoxifying elements to detoxify the locks, then you're also releasing a lot there as well, energetically. So my hair feels lighter, not only from being clean, but from washing away the energy that, that you interact with on a day-to-day basis. So I feel it, like it feels like there has been weight removed from my hair. So if you do have locks, if you're thinking about locks, you may or may not, I can't speak for everyone, you may not take into account what it means to start locking. It's a relationship with your hair, right? It's spiritual, to be honest with you. In whatever way you decide to lock, it's spiritual. You are tying in the energy, you are interlocking, you are twisting, you are morphing your hair, which is your connection, your antenna, to the sun, to elements. And you are spending time manipulating, touching, and developing a spiritual connection with your antenna. And so if you do have locks, I'm sure you have, gone through the full journey of what it was like to not have locks, to have locks, and maybe you grew up and your parents actually started your locks for you. But the journey in and of itself is a spiritual journey. Like you are seeing your locks throughout the different stages. I say all this to say to be mindful of who touches your hair, and what state of mind you're in when you are touching your hair, and being intentional. And that's the theme of this channel: intentionality, of authenticity, of creativity, of courage. To be intentional about when you're touching your hair, like to be in a state of love or at peace when you're touching your hair, because it's locks. You're locking in that energy, whatever energy that is, you're locking that into your hair, especially when it's like twisting. And we are energetic beings. Like this is a costume, but within us is light, is energy, electricity. And that penetrates through this costume, this skin suit. So even though this is also a costume, it's just an energy that we are completely, covered in and emanating out. So when I, let's say, am washing my body, like am I washing my body mindfully intentionally, with love in my heart, or am I angry? Like, how am I taking care of this body? How am I taking care of myself? And then from there, that's going to shine through to the people around you and to the world. Okay, so as you can see, my locks are cleaner, not all the way, not perfectly clean. There's still some debris that we will pat off as much as possible. Even things like this, do my best to pull off. Yep. So we will do that. We will pat and remove debris. Okay, so I dropped the ISO on my camera. Felt like it was overly exposed. But I may bring it back up because it helps me see my locks better. I think the reason why I talk about intentionality so much is because we've lost the art of being mindful, of paying attention, of doing things with our full attention. And bringing intentionality forces you to think about why or what you'd like to get out of doing or being or becoming, like really setting a point of focus, you know? And we are in a world that perpetuates distraction. And so nowadays, when you talk to people, at least for me, sometimes I feel like they are not in the conversation, like they're just responding automatically in whatever way they've been raised or conditioned or, in their automatic programming. And so I even notice that when I do talk with people and I am fully present, it supports in their presence. So now they may not even realize it subconsciously. They are in the presence of someone being present with them. So they may actually, unbeknownst to them, their walls of whatever, walls they put up in interacting with people, they may be a lot more or even just a little bit more vulnerable in conversation with me or with other mindful beings. And they may not even notice it. They may think it's that person in particular. Maybe they have a deep connection with them, or they start to label and categorize what it is when it really is them witnessing, experiencing presence. What it means, what it feels to be present, to having someone hold space, really hold space for you, be there with you and listening. And it doesn't need to be some dramatic conversation you're having. We're going to change this again. It doesn't need to be some dramatic conversation that you're having. I'll bring up the ISO, it makes it brighter. Lowering the ISO darkens it. I don't know if I said that correctly the first time, but I don't know how many of you are videographers or YouTubers, so that might not matter to you. Anyways, they may not realize that that person is really being present with them, and because of them being fully present without thinking about how to respond, without thinking about what they're going to have for lunch or the argument that they had with their coworker, they're literally there with you, embracing and accepting you fully in all of your glory. Many people don't even realize that 99.999% of the time, the other person's actually not present with them. And while they're not present with themselves, so people are really not even connecting. And social media makes you think that you're connecting. No. We are disconnecting more and more in various ways while having the accessibility to access, for lack of a better word, other people from all over the world. But it takes more than just access to be able to connect with people, right? I can have access to a phone and make a phone call, and that person is on the other line, but we're really not even connecting. We're just on the phone. We're just going through the motions. And that is not a world that I want to live in. I would love to see a world where people are aware of themselves, are aware of the habitual patterns, their personalities, their flaws, and sorry, I'm trying to get this. Aware of their flaws and their strengths and their gifts, aware of all of it and accepting of all of it, accepting of all of it. That's where the growth is, of like accepting what you look like in a world that may or may not, accept your looks or accepting that you are enough. You are enough just the way you are. There are so many people doing surgeries and, taking medication, pills, going through depression, really there are many things happening in front of our faces and behind the scenes. Really behind the scenes. And I see a world where, as corny as this may sound, where we all love each other. But it starts from loving ourselves. And honestly, when you interact with someone that truly loves themselves, it spreads. There's a resonance that's left. Like you feel it, and it passes on to you if you allow it. And some people that, when they're around people that are truly authentic and they love themselves and they accept themselves, they may reject that, right? Because it reminds them of how they haven't been loving themselves. They haven't been accepting themselves. They may reject it. Instead of using it as inspiration, they use it as a condemnation, and they condemn themselves of like, oh, I don't know why, and sometimes it's not even conscious. I don't know why I'm feeling this way. This person, there's something about them that I don't like. Maybe because they're being real and you haven't been real in a very long time. So it triggers you. Maybe it's they've forgiven someone in a similar situation that you've been in, and it triggers you because you maybe haven't. Maybe it's really that their light is bringing out the light within you, shedding light to the darkness. And your darkness wants to stay alive, wants to stay in the dark, wants to run your life. So I see a world of light, of love, of peace, of creativity. Like, also, the amount of art that is out there, that can be out there, that we're not even exploring or seeing, experiencing. Like, imagine never experiencing Michael Jackson in terms of his music. I also forgot to mention that I am doing a 24-hour coconut water fast. I woke up this morning and just feeling like it was time to pause on food for a little bit. Since it is the first of the month, taking a break on my digestive system, I felt called to do that. And so it's a great time to do my hair during that cleansing point in time. During this cleansing point in time. Okay, so there we go. We have taken away as much lint as possible, and debris and sand and dirt and grime and all that. I am now going to take the oil mixture that I mentioned before and apply it to my scalp. I probably won't get to retying my whole head. It is already 3 o'clock, after 3, almost actually close to 4 o'clock. So I'm just going to show you a few rows and maybe pick it up tomorrow or the next day. But I don't think you want to watch me and retie my entire head. I don't want to watch me retie my entire head. But I need to watch it because I'm the one doing it. And that's how I get it done. By watching myself. Let's get to the back. Honestly, like a freshly washed set of locks just feels amazing. I wish, like, if you could put your hand and feel my locks right now, they feel amazing. They feel amazing. Now let's get to retying something. See how dark. That's too dark. How can I get this to be lighter? Auto. So I twist the lock, and then I start from the top and go down, and then from right to left, and then from bottom to top, and then if there's space from left to right, which there is. Can you see? Here we go. And then from there, I like to twist the remainder of that lock. Sometimes I'll like use a crochet needle. Twist it down, twist it down, twist it down. And there it is. That's one. One down. Top to the bottom, from right, making sure you're in the middle of the lock, from bottom to top, and from left to right. Yes. The reason why I don't think I'm going to finish this is because the sun is setting and I don't have my ring light here or my other lighting set up. I'm using natural light. Once the sun sets, it's a wrap.